Hello everyone, this is Santosh Kumar again. So this is the interview skill mastery of module 5. So this is the problem statement of this. Write the solution of top 50 question interview questions and 5 explanation in video. Excel job interview. So this is the note, make a copy of this document, write answers. So first question is, what is the vectors in mathematics? A vector is the quantity that has both magnitude, length and direction. In mathematics, vectors are often represented as ordered list of numbers. So like v equals to xy in 2D. This is the 2D array. If v equal to x and y in 2D and v equals to xyz in 3D. So 2D, 2 dimension and 3 dimension. So Python example using NumPy. Import NumPy as np. Create a 2D vector v equals to np array 3 comma 4. So magnitude of the vector is magnitude equal to np line lg norm v. So print vector v and print magnitude as magnitude. So this will be the output of that vector 3 comma 4 and magnitude equal to 5 comma 0. It is the magnitude of that vectors. So this example creates the 2D vector of 3 comma 4 and calculates the magnitude using the formula x square plus y square. That's the under root of that. So this is the vector different. What is second question is, how is the vector different from the scalar? So this is the difference between vector and scalar. So definition of the vector is, vector has both magnitude and direction, and scalar has only magnitude, no direction. So example is velocity equals to 60 km per hour in north. So this is so also direction and with magnitude. And in scalar, speed equals to 60 km per hour, only the speed. So this is the main difference of vector and scalar. If we count the velocity, it will be the speed plus the direction. So this is the north direction, and mathematical from vector have represented as array list of components, e.g. 3 comma 4 represented as a single number, e.g. 5. Example Gracia 5. Operations, vector addition, dot product, etc. So in vector have addition with dot product, and scalar had the multiplication and addition, etc. So a dot b dot vector have the with the dot product of the vector. And in scalar, the multiplication and addition, subtraction, etc. This is the example of that. So Python example, Python scalar speed has 60 km per hour, vector have velocity 60 with north. So vectors can carry direction, scalar do not carry direction. What are the different third one question is, what are the different operations that can be performed on vectors as above mentioned before the second on the second question we have mentioned that. And operation of vector are here are the common vectors operation, vector addition at corresponding elements with the Python, import numpy as np a equal to np dot array 2 comma 3, b equals to np dot array 4 comma 1. So result equals to a plus b. If we print the result, then 6 comma 4, it will be addition. And vector subtraction is subtract corresponding elements with Python, result a minus b equals to minus 2 comma 2. So, and after that scalar have multiplication. If multiply each element with by the scalar in Python, scalar 3, result is scalar asterisk a equals to 6 comma 9. For the dot product, returns a scalar with Python, dot product np dot a comma b. So it will be 2 into 4 plus 3 into 1. So it is the answer. This is the answer 11. And magnitude length of vector. So magnitude np dot line lg with norm a. So it will be the root of the 2 to the power 2 and 3 to the power 2. So root 13 will be the answer. And 6 is unit vector. So unit vector is a upon np line lg with dot norm a. The angle between vectors, this is the important, using dot product and magnitudes. So these are the key operations in physics, ML, graphics, etc., machine language and graphics, etc. So the number fourth question is, how can vectors multiplied by a scalars? As above mentioned, we have verify that multiplying a vector by a scalar means multiplying each component of the vector by the scalar. Formula: if v equal to xyz and the scalar is k, then k in kxv, the k into x and k into y, k into z. So Python example, import numpy as np, v equals to np dot array 2 minus 3 comma 4. So scalar equals to 3, result is scalar into v, present, so we will print the result, output will be 6 comma 9 comma 12. So it will be the answer. So it have the multiply that and arrange with the array and assign to value v. So this operation scales the vector, changes its length, not its direction. So only it changes the length of that not its direction, unless the scalar is negative, who which also reverses the direction. So number fifth question is, what is the magnitude of a vector? The magnitude or length of a vector is the distance from the origin to the point represented by the vector in space. It's calculated with using the Euclidean norm. So formula is, for a vector v equals to xyz, v uh, so vector v equals to root x square plus y square plus z square. So under root it will be, we can use this with Python. Import numpy as np, v equals to np dot array 3 comma 4 comma 12, magnitude np dot line alg dot norm equals to line alg dot norm v, print magnitude, the output will be 13.0. So this gives the size of or strength of the vector regardless of its direction. How can the direction of the vector can be determined? The direction of a vector is the orientation of the vector in the space, and it's often represented as a unit of vector, a vector with magnitude 1 pointing the same direction. Steps to find direction. Calculate the magnitude of the vector. Divide each component of the vector by its magnitude. So this is the formula of that. And the example of that. So these are the sixth question, seventh question, and we will go to last question. Any question, probability, and this question will be most important. Which one? What are the key elements to consider when designing an experiment? So this is the key elements to consider when designing an experiment. Objective. First is objective research question. Clearly define what we want to investigate. Variables, control group, randomization, and sample size, replication, procedure, data collection methods, ethical considerations. So ethical consideration is ensure that the experiment meets the ethical standards, especially with human subjects. And analysis plan. Analysis plan is define how to collected data will be analyzed to answer the research question. So these are important questions, and I have answered on one more, two more. ANOVA test, analysis of variance, ANOVA. And number 80th question is, what is inlier? So an inlier is the data point that fits well within the expected pattern or distribution of a dataset. It is considered a normal observation that follows the trend and does not deviate significantly from other data points. In simple terms, inliers are the usual or typical data points. They contrast with outliers, which are unusual or extreme points that differ markedly from the rest. For example, the most test scores are between 60 to 60 and 90. A score 75 is inlier, while a score of 10 or 100 might be an out, outlier. So inlier is between the sorry between the points, score or points. So thanks for watching.